Hello everyone. Today I would like to demonstrate how to create a test database in SAP Business One using the live database. Our tasks are backing up the SQL database, creating a new SAP database, and restoring the live database over test. And I will be using SQL Server Management Studio on the SQL Server 2008 R2. So the first task is to back up the database. We log into the SAP to the SQL Server. We find our live database. Right click. From tasks, we have to choose the backup, and from there we use full backup, and we are looking for a destination folder on our C drive where we could place our backup. We need to put the backup name and press OK. We can then delete the old sources of files if we have any. Press OK, and it depends, depending on the size of the database, it can take a few minutes. So that was backup of our database. We can have a look on our C drive, and we can find it where we specified it as default location is the backup folder for the SQL Server. That's our file. The next task is to create an SAP database, a new one. We will do it in SAP Business One. So the next step is to log into our SAP Business One client. We will log in, we'll start our SAP and log into our current company. From there we choose administration and new companies. We can create a new company by pressing on a button. We will need a B1 site user password for that. Create a new test company name and the file name, and we can specify the default settings. These settings will be overwritten when we restore our backup later on in the next step. So I'm just putting the period. Oh, and one last bit, we need to put the localization. That will take a while, so I'm just gonna show the beginning and the end of the process. So you just need to wait now for all the tables to be created. And now we are asked for a new manager password for our new test database. We are waiting for our test database to appear now, so you could log in. We need to put our username, well, our name, our job role, and accept the license agreement. Can now check that our test company is there. That's our live, that's our test, and we can log off SAP now. Our next step is to restore the live database over our new test database, and then change the company name within that test database. We will have to log into our SQL Server Management Studio again. We need to use the user that will allow us to restore the backup. Find our test database on the list of databases. You can see it's there now. If we click on the activity monitor and check for processes, we can see if there is any process that would be connected to our new database. Just choose a test database from the list. And you can see that there is one process that is currently connecting to our database. This would cause us issues when restoring, as the restore would fail. This is a standard service that's required when you set up the mobile app or the dashboards. That's the integration component. We can stop it temporarily in services in Windows, and that's what we are going to do now. So we stop the service. We need to wait a few moments for the activity monitor to refresh, and we can see that's disappeared. The process disappeared from the list now. You can see that our test database is not on the list of databases that are connected now. So we can continue with restore. Right click on our test database, go to tasks and go to restore from backup. I need to make sure that we are storing test database. We are restoring from a device, which is a file that we created in the step 1. We can look for that file that's there. Our default location, press OK. OK to confirm, tick the file. And on the in the other tab, in the options, we want to restore, override the database. We are now looking for the database files, our test database files. Just looking in the default location, which is the program files 64 and the data folder of Microsoft SQL Server. So looking for the MDF file, the first line, and we are doing the same for the log file, the LDF. Press OK. That's fine. We can just go back to the end of the path to make sure that the correct files are picked and specified, and we can press OK to restore. Again, depending on the size of the database, it can take a while. It tends to take a bit longer than backing up the database. So now we can log back into our new restored test database. Click on Change Settings and press the refresh button to make sure that all details are populated. We can log back into our test company. We can see that the database file name is different, but the company name at the moment is the same. This is because we've just restored our whole data from our live backup. So our last step would be to change the company name within SAP to avoid users being confused of which company to log into. And we are going to do it in company details. I'll just put the test in front of the company name. Refreshing the database, you can see that now there is a correct company name on the list. Thank you very much, and please contact support if you need more information. Goodbye.